Jones, it is beautiful light to be alive. Boy, what a beautiful and magical evening we have tonight right here in the city of trees of Boise, Idaho, guys. What is up, Chicago Cub YouTube Nation? Hope all you guys are having a great hump day and Wednesday Eve and a great Tuesday so far. By the way, guys, happy Tuesday. We are going to focus this episode on a former Chicago Cub World Series champion, and we will talk about that former Chicago Cub World Series champion in a little bit, guys. But before I welcome you guys back to the channel of Cubs Baseball with Ryan Knight on YouTube, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you for all the love on Casey, guys. He is doing phenomenal. He took a lot of bullpens today. He actually caught Kate Horton's bullpen and Edward Cabrera, one of the newest Chicago Cubs. So he is having a time of his life at Big League Camp. So, all right, guys, let's get into tonight's episode. All right, guys, so I did say we are going to talk about a former Chicago Cub World Series champion, and that would be none other than current Colorado Rocky player Kris Bryant. We all know that Kris Bryant is, ever since 2022, has been a member of the Colorado Rockies. And really, guys, what I really want to talk about is the basically breaking news that MLB and the Colorado Rockies made earlier today, returning Kris Bryant starting off spring training and the 2026 MLB regular season. Now, ever since 2022, Kris Bryant has only played 120 games in the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies, and these are 120 total games in the regular season ever since 2022, his first year with the Colorado Rockies. The majority of the time between 2022 and right now, Kris Bryant has either been on the IL or he has been on rehab assignments in the minor leagues with the Colorado Rockies. And a matter of fact, guys, last season, Kris Bryant played in rookie ball, high A, triple A on rehab games with the Colorado Rockies, and he was absolutely dominating, nice and easy. Everything looked fine. But at the big league level, guys, he really has, like I said, between 2022 and right now, Kris Bryant only has 120 MLB games with the Colorado Rockies under his belt. That is, when you look at a percentage, that is 42.5% of the time, his time with the Colorado Rockies, he has actually been in the starting lineup in a big league game. So here's the issue. Kris Bryant will begin 2026 spring training and the kickoff to the 2026 MLB regular season on the IL. It will be his fourth different stint on the IL with the Colorado Rockies. Yes, like I said, the amount of time he has been with the Colorado Rockies and really getting the playing in has been very, very low. But this will be his fourth different stint on the IL. It is due to a foot issue at the moment. I cannot really go into a formal explain on what it is and all that, but Kris Bryant has been put on the 60-day IL as of earlier today by the Colorado Rockies, guys. And it really is a bummer, a former World Series champion, a former Rookie of the Year, a former MVP, without a doubt, a guy that, 5 or 6 years ago, we would definitely say is a absolute first ballot Hall of Famer, and his career in baseball is now going down low day by day. The biggest question is back in 2022. The Colorado Rockies signed Kris Bryant to an 8-year deal for $182 million. And like I said, between 2022 and right now, he has only played 120 MLB regular season games at the big league level with the Rockies. And so, you got the 8-year deal for $182 million, and over 90% of the time he has been spending it on the IL. And so my question, really not for you guys, but really for the Colorado Rockies, is what are they doing? I know they're taking a huge chance on Kris Bryant, but let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, are we looking at the end of Kris Bryant's MLB playing career? What is going to be next after Kris Bryant is reinstated from the IL? Those are really big questions that the Colorado Rockies will have to face and answer to come about the 60-day and all that. And again, we looked at Kris Bryant when he was a Chicago Cub. He was one of the faces of the franchise. He was a huge part in them winning a World Series ring back in 2016. And now it's a whole different story. Now we're talking about a different Kris Bryant. A Kris Bryant that has barely played any regular season games with the Colorado Rockies at the MLB level. And so, you know what? I don't know what the Colorado Rockies are doing. When I found out this earlier today, I was talking with my mom about it. And, this is his 4th different stint on the IL. That's, and he's entering his 5th year out of 8 years with the Rockies, and he's only had 120 regular season games. So the really huge question is, did the Rockies make a mistake on taking a chance on Kris Bryant? I can't answer that because I really don't know. But yeah, Kris Bryant to kick off the 2026 MLB season on the 60-day IL, it's not what people want to hear. Definitely not what Rocky fans want to hear. But I kind of am a little speechless that this is going on, and what is next for Kris Bryant. Obviously, I don't know, other than he will be on the 60-day IL to kick off the 2026 MLB regular season. All right, Cub Nation, I was going to bring up and talk about the 40-man roster for the Chicago Cubbies as we get ready for 2026 Chicago Cub Big League Camp and Spring Training. But what if I could actually top that in a better way? And we talk about another former Chicago Cub that is now going to be working with NBC starting in 2026 for ESPN, for NBC MLB Sunday Night Baseball. I'm talking about Anthony Rizzo. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Rizzo is one of 3 former MLB players to join the new home for Sunday Night Baseball for MLB. And it will all begin this year with the logo you see behind me, NBC. Anthony Rizzo, or should I say former Chicago Cub Anthony Rizzo, will be working as an analyst for a pregame show with Sunday Night Baseball. He will also be doing it for the upcoming 2026 MLB postseason, guys. And I wanted to ask you guys, the Cub Nation, on your thoughts of this. Anthony Rizzo definitely has a very high baseball IQ, and getting a job as the analyst with NBC for the new home of MLB Sunday Night Baseball. Anthony Rizzo will work alongside with Joey Votto on the pregame show. He will also work alongside with 3-time LA Dodger World Series champion and the guy that is going to come out of retirement to pitch for Team USA in the upcoming WBC of Clayton Kershaw. So let's talk about Anthony Rizzo, guys, for a second. Of course, this is really good news in a really positive way for the former Chicago Cub guys. But I want to hear from you guys what your guys' input on this is. A very great opportunity. I don't think I've ever heard Anthony Rizzo do like any type of broadcasting. And so, that's kind of what I will be very interested to see and be about and all that. So I'm very happy for him and all that. I wish him the absolute best. I kind of wish, Anthony Rizzo was still playing. But for him to be on the pregame show, the NBC pregame show before Sunday Night Baseball in 2026, because NBC is the new home for MLB Sunday Night Baseball coming in 2026. It'll be the very first time in over a decade that MLB Sunday Night Baseball comes back to NBC, guys. And you know what? It still feels weird that the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball era is over. But now that we have a new home, we got to get Anthony Rizzo on. So I'm very excited. From what I have been told, the Cubs are scheduled to play 4 different times on NBC Sunday Night Baseball in 2026. And those 4 times on the pregame show, we will be able to hear from the former Chicago Cub World Series champion of Anthony Rizzo. So I just wanted to get your guys' input on that and what you guys have to say about it. So definitely let me know down below in the comment section on your guys' input and all that. I'm very interested to really hear it. So let me know down below what you guys think of this. It's great for Anthony Rizzo. I think he has the persona and the personality, to be doing this, and be able to work with NBC, especially covering games in the postseason, just like our very own T-Mac did last year, making her MLB postseason debut with ESPN, calling the Tigers versus Guardians wildcard game. But Anthony Rizzo getting his job as a sports analyst with NBC to cover MLB Sunday Night Baseball. It's just, a great job and all that. But I want to get you guys' input on what you guys think of it. Do you like it? But yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity, So congratulations to Rizzo and his whole family on that, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that Anthony Rizzo only won one World Series. Even though he played in more than one World Series, he only won one MLB World Series ring. And for the type of player he was, is actually the thing. Like, it's crazy. The type of guy he was, the type of player he was. And, I'm speechless. You're looking at a guy who was he did everything in MLB that a first baseman would do. And he still only got one World Series ring. But you know what? Guys, one of his colleagues is going to be Joey Votto. Who was a great and phenomenal first baseman himself. And Joey Votto never won an MLB World Series ring. So think about that. But, let me know. What do you guys have the input with Rizzo coming to NBC? Let me know down below in the comments.